Bayonetta.
Bayonetta. Okay. I don't think anyone is actually watching right now. So I'm not gonna get any feedback in terms of stream quality or my voice or whatever until someone jumps in. So I'm just gonna start talking and we'll see how we go when someone finally tells me how I'm going. Yeah, I believe. Oh, hello. Shit, people are watching now. I have to actually try and do things proper. How am I doing this? My stream setup is a little bit weird and I don't do this very often, so it's a little bit weird.
No one said you could touch.
Okay, I mean, it's very early, so... Oh, I'm not really good at this. Yeah, everyone's just gonna have to wait. Probably. It's been a while since I've done this. Like, I'm not sure why the Wii U's not putting out audio to my TV.
Bayonetta.
It's a slight problem. Like, I know that it's been ages since I've touched my Wii U as well, so man, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, audio should be fine. Can you actually hear the game audio? Bars tell me that apparently you can, but... Okay, it's drowning me out. Alright. Let's fiddle with this. Turn that down by a lot. So I'm hoping that's better for you guys anyway. For some reason I still can't hear anything out of my TV. Like, I didn't mute my flipping TV.
No one said you could touch.
Nope, nothing's coming out of my TV for audio. So I guess the easy way to deal with this would be to just listen on my shitty Wii U speakers. But then you're gonna get echo and that's gonna be really annoying. I just don't know why it's not coming out of my TV. To be fair though, this is a new TV. I haven't streamed using this TV before, so TV's a TV, they should just work. So I'm gonna wait a little bit to see if the echo is gonna be a problem, because basically what's happening is I'm sitting in front of my TV, I've got my microphone in front of me, and then I'm playing with the gamepad because I'm kind of used to playing Bayonetta with the gamepad now as opposed to the Pro Controller. And because for some reason my TV is not spitting out the audio, I'm putting out the audio through the gamepad instead. So sometimes there is an issue with echo on this. Let me know if it's a problem. Like, I actually haven't even played... Nope, nothing. I don't know why it's not coming out of my TV. It would be great if it did. Maybe it's like a Wii U setting? Yeah, I should have actually tested this earlier, but it wouldn't be a stream if it wasn't all messed up. So I'm just gonna go back into the settings and let's have a look. Because why isn't this working? Okay. Why are you not responsive? Oh, this is like for the Pro controller or something. Never mind. You can tell I never really use my Wii U. I could use earbuds, but I don't know whether... Oh, they changed the music for this. Where is the audio? I must have gone past it already, maybe? Amiibo data. I have totally pre-ordered both Bayonetta amiibos, but I have no idea what I'm actually going to use them for, other than I am getting shit all from my TV. Okay, be right back. I'm gonna get some headphones. Ugh, okay. Now I'm really hoping that I just plugged them in, my headphones. Can you still hear the game or the console audio? When did my Wii U update itself? Like, presumably it updated itself sometime. I don't know the last time I actually touched this, because now my reason for having a Wii U is, like, non-existent. Okay, so if you guys can still hear the audio, that is fantastic, and I don't have to stare at this tiny ass screen and play Bayonetta 2. So just to give some context here, I'm kind of in the middle of, like, basically trying to write down my thoughts regarding this game on my Tumblr, and it has been quite a while since I've actually played the game, so I need to sort of refresh my memory, so to speak. And on top of that, I have also been invited to do some sort of podcast in a couple of months' time as some sort of expert, I suppose. So it would be remiss of me to not actually refresh my memory on the game before I shit on it again. So I don't really want to play through an Infinite Climax. I think I've only actually played through Infinite Climax once. Is that going to tell me? Let me just check. I think I'm pretty sure I only played through Infinite Climax once. I never even bothered trying to pure platinum it. Excuse me. Anyway, how's everyone going? I actually can't see how many people are on my stream. Because, okay, here's my setup. I've got my TV, my PC is plugged into my TV, so the TV is the PC's monitor, but I'm also playing Bayonetta on my TV. So in order to see your guys' comments, I'm using my iPad. So I don't really have full control over what I can see here. It's a very limited. Oh, I actually did bother to I actually bothered to pure plat third climax. Wow. And then I started doing second, kind of, and gave up. Look at those beautiful stones. Oh god. Oh, it's a boss fight. That would be why. Anyway, I want to start a new game, and it does kind of frustrate me. Okay, I mean, I'm going to start airing all my issues about Bayonetta 2 again. So 2-3 years down the line since my LP. It's kind of a good thing and a bad thing that one game file you can switch characters on one game file. So unlike in the first game where if you unlocked a new character you'd have to start a new game file, in Bayonetta 2 you can have one game file and you can switch between the three very easily. My problem with that is for some reason what's the issue here? For some reason it's just it doesn't once you've unlocked everything, you've unlocked everything on this account. I believe that's the case anyway, so yeah. I mean, I do like the fact that you can switch between characters, and it kind of makes it hard to keep track of who has done what. I don't know. It's kind of just either or. Like, if Bayo 1, you knew that that file was just for Bayo, and that file was for Jeanne, whereas in this one, anyone can play anywhere, and then you can just get pure platinum using Rosa. Difficulty. Okay, these headphones aren't great, so sometimes my audio will cut out, so just give me a sec here. Realistically, I wanted to be able to play through this on Infinite Climax, but I don't hate myself that much, and it would be really frustrating for you guys, I'm sure, to... Oh, I can't change that. Interesting. Let's just do good old Bayo. I do find it really bad as well. I don't think I really just yet. Yeah, I don't think I really should like preclude this with some sort of like spoiler alert. I am going to be nitpicking everything that I come across as I see it. My issue here being that first, second, and third climax are effectively the same in every single manner. And the difference is, I think, maybe enemies attack less or something. But combo requirements, time requirements, it's all the same. And it doesn't really feel any different. I think the difference is actually they just hit harder they hit progressively harder between difficulties. And then Infinite Climax is just ramping up it to ridiculous levels. And I haven't played this game in over a year or something. So we'll see how it goes. I have been refreshing my memory with Bayo 1, but Bayo 1 is very different. So we'll see how we go. I wouldn't be surprised if I die. Oh, and the loading times. It's so weird in Bayonetta PC how even on my shitty ass PC, which I need to upgrade, the loading speeds are like ridiculously fast. So it's kind of funny going back to the console versions where it's just you have to wait about, I'm gonna say, up to 10 seconds for between doing anything. I think I've mentioned now, I am really terrible at speaking and playing at the same time. I'll do my best, but I'm not a counting nightmare. Oh yeah, Umbran Climax, hell yeah. Okay, I'll try not to jump cancel these dudes because it kind of just breaks everything. Oh boy, and this dude, he's got some really weird cues, and he'll fake you out, and it's really frustrating. You really just feel like your Wicked Weaves don't really have much weight behind them. Like, I'm not sure why... I don't remember that guy's name anymore. I'm not sure why some of his attacks have really clear cues and some of them are, like, non-existent. Okay, can you guys hear the can you guys hear the game audio or not? It's kind of important. I can go back to not using my headphones if necessary. Oh bugger. Okay.
Sage I met spent
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that the Wii U does that when you plug it into the gamepad. It's fine. It's fine. There'll probably be a slight echo or something now, because the microphone will probably pick up the gamepad audio. But it is fine.
You will not escape this fate. We will perish together.
Oh god, I just am suddenly reminded of that whole final cutscene between Bayonetta and Boulder in this game, and it is so bad. Because she yells daddy and it is bad. But we'll get to that when, yeah, I'm gonna say 3-4 hours down the line.
Was lost from the world forever, along with its possessor, the last of the Lumen Sages. The Lumen Sages.
Like, can I start off with this chapter select screen? I'm not exactly sure what it's meant to be. Like, it looks like it's some sort of map on the floor of something, and You know, you got Loki's hand turning over cards, which is relevant, but it doesn't scream good world building or character building to me. But I'm just nitpicking at this point. Yeah, it was kind of disappointing that they brought the Lumen Sage back, as in Boulder. It would have been neat to have, there's actually some other Lumen Sage who isn't Boulder and is out he's out for Bayonetta for some reason. But it seems to me like Kamiya wrote this scenario to sort of wrap up some questions that sort of got raised in the first game. Most of all being, what was Boulder's intentions in knocking up a witch and producing Bayonetta? It seemed like in the first game it seemed like it was purely selfish, whereas in this one it actually came from, I loved her but then I became evil. Like, quite honestly, I prefer the first game. It kind of goes without saying at this point. I kind of prefer the first game's interpretation of basically he was just a self-serving dick who wanted to bring back God. Whereas they're trying to redeem him here, it's just kind of... Yeah. Like, let's just give Bayonetta daddy issues. That's just fantastic.
Do you know what day's coming up? Here I was shopping, minding my own business, then you show up and turn me into a damn porter. Seriously, Bayonetta, you still haven't paid me back for the car. Hey, whoa!
Now, is that any way to speak to an
One thing I do find really funny is how if you're any other character but Bayonetta, this cutscene is still the same in terms of that person walking around right now. No changes whatsoever. Although I guess it's very similar to the nun thing. But they full on show Bayonetta's face right there, but it's the same whether it's Rosa or Jean. It seems really wrong and lazy.
Be well on your way with all the shit you pull. Dressing up like a nun just so you can off some angels and keep the underworld happy. Hey, I'm talking to you. Shit. But if it's that or getting torn limb from limb for eternity in whatever circle of inferno...
I'm pretty sure I made this comment in my LP, but I do not understand people walking around in short shorts in the middle of winter. What is wrong with you?
What the fuck you wasting your time trying to send some schmucks off to the afterlife for?
done and done? Let's go home, Enzo.
Hey, wait a second. I ain't done here. If I don't get what I came for, I'm gonna be the biggest mutt in the city.
And what is it that you came to fetch, my dear?
Quite frankly, I'm not exactly certain the difference between pre-rendered and in-game. Like, I'm assuming in the first game where your costumes change, those are in-game, probably? Like, it seems that the first half of this cutscene is pre-rendered, and then it gets to the point where they reveal Bayonetta's new outfit, and that's where it becomes in-game.
To see you in the city. Just had something I had to look into. Cereza, you haven't felt anything strange recently. Now that you mention it, I still haven't quite figured out how a broke, bumbling wise guy managed to turn himself into a semi-respectable family man.
I think I've nagged on this forever. I just don't understand this sort of weird character development they've written for these two, really hating on Enzo. Like in the first game, I don't believe she treated him with such contempt.
That shit's rich, I tell you what.
Our friends in Paradiso are far too quiet. I'm sure you've noticed. They aren't the only ones. Pray tell. Our friends down south seem to be a bit upset as well. And now in Climax, the annual holiday parade is being held.
Like, one thing undeniably about Bayonetta 2 is that it is a really gorgeous game. And yeah, it's like night and day in comparison to the first game, which has that terrible filter on it and a distinct lack of colour. But as I've mentioned before, like, the overuse of color kind of is to the game's detriment.
The platinum stars. Crap. I need to hurry up and get Ed and Edna's presents, or I'm gonna get it.
We'll talk later. I'll see you back home. Don't forget to pick up the things for the party.
I can't imagine Jeanne being that cool history teacher like apparently she's been written as. Like, she's a teacher in her civilian quote-unquote life, and I think Kamiya says she's a history teacher. So you imagine your history teacher rocking a biker suit and riding a motorbike on their days off.
Yellow, blue, I don't care what color they are. I learned my lesson with those bastards, you hear me? Just a normal damn jet, please.
And this entire interaction with Enzo and this shopkeeper is so bizarre. Like, some really excellent monologuing here from whoever did the freaking motion capture here.
Yo, you know what? Screw the pretty ribbon. Just hurry up and put it in the box, will ya? Fuck the damn ribbon!
And where did the guy go?
You know, I try to avoid doing this in my Sunday best.
The horse angels. Like, as you all should know by now, I am incredibly cynical about this game, and it just really does read in every single way like they tried to do the first game again, but better, quote unquote. Down to the that pre-chapter bit with the narration and the fighting in the past bit. I guess the nude reveal is meant to be like a tradition now, I suppose. And it truly is criminal that they don't use this song more often. Like, I don't remember whether I mentioned this in the in my LP of this, but the tone for this first chapter is incredibly different to the rest of the game because it's like all tits and ass, like you expect. It's all really whimsical, and then later on it's just all business and it's kind of boring, and she doesn't really do her usual sassy whatever. I wish that I was able to pay for those earrings when they were available. God, it's so generous. But the timing for this pause combo is really wide. I can... Anyway. And there are some combos which I don't really understand the purpose of. Oh wait, I meant to evade. Do your thing. Oh, and I'm so you're not used to now to having having taunt on the D-pad. And it's so weird to me that they give you this first tiny little section with 3 enemies with the handguns and then immediately give you the proper Wicked Weave guns. Like, literally, why did they even bother with this other than for the story? Like, it really sort of... I guess because in the first game, the unusual new thing was the whole Wicked Weave thing, whereas in this game, you know about Wicked Weave, so how they're going to escalate, they escalate by introducing Umbra and Climax. So they want to skip over the whole, oh, you have no Wicked Weaves, here's Wicked Weaves, and then you have Gun, and then you have Umbra and Climax Weaves now.
Oh, fucking wonderful.
This cutscene between Enzo and Rodan seems like it was missing a couple of sections because it's like Enzo was talking to himself and then didn't notice Rodan, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh shit, and it just feels really disjointed. I can buy this relationship though, because in the first game Rodan already did kind of shit on Enzo, but Bayonetta was a bit more cool about it. I'll give you a lollipop, but they don't really matter in this game. And yeah, I guess I am going to watch through the cutscenes because, like I said, I have not played this game in ages and I do need a refresher, and my refresher is not going to be, I'm going to watch my own LP, because who the hell watches their own LP, seriously. I will say that one great thing is that they let you have air dodge immediately, I think. Yeah. Oh, I keep trying to taunt using L1. One of the few QTs that you can actually die to. Oh, and one thing I really hate about this game is that on your first playthrough you can't use the quick skip cutscene shortcut. You have to actually go through the pause menu, say skip cutscene, yes I want to skip cutscene. I don't know why they don't let you just skip it. It's really lame. I wonder if the lack of audio is going to bite me in the ass, but I'm not trying for pure plat or anything. It's just frustrating getting hit. And the fact that my combo is breaking means I will definitely not get pure platinum anyway. Like, this verse is actually surprisingly very strict in terms of its pure plat requirements. I don't remember all the colours anymore. There's like one which involves like a pound in the ground or something, and I think the only sort of useful thing you can do to enemies now is shove them in the ground. Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, I disagree. This is a complete lack of style, and it's so strange because apparently all the ingredients were the same, but somehow it came out different. I will say I do like the fact that you can dodge in cutscenes and have a different outcome. It really surprises me that apparently people did not think to turn off Unburned Climax during the animation. Like apparently I was very weird in that fact that I figured it out like almost immediately. And dodging feels a little bit weird. Just the timing for certain attacks. I mean, I'm just gonna mash P and yeah, do something. I do actually think, purely because of the Link costume, that the Wii U version is better than the PC version, because it really frustrates me that I can't do Gaze of Despair, Sergei's Lover, and the blocking accessory. It's either pick 2 out of the 3. The problem is that performance will tank anyway, regardless of what you do. So, yeah, wow, I'm getting completely killed here. I do like how this game actually gives you health. I think the first game really only gave you health when you were about to die, which was kind of annoying. I do like that these things are really easy. Although I'm kind of 2 minds about it. I kind of like the fact in the first game you actually have to try to actually max out the thing, whereas in this game it's really easy to max out that climax theme as well. Yeah, I have consistently maintained that this entire first chapter is pretty great in terms of the scenario and the escalation and just introducing you to the game. But I do think the problem is that because it did a really good job there, the rest of the game kind of feels not as good in comparison. And I really do not like these See, did you see that? I got hit I think 2 or 3 times and I still managed to get a platinum. That just seems really wrong. Like, I know the first game was hard, but it wasn't that hard, come on. Like, I think in some instances you actually actively have to be trying to basically lose all your health to actually get anything below gold for damage taken. And why the hell does Jean's soul get knocked out of her? Why does this happen? Does she not have a good, like, seal or something? Like, I'm not very familiar with my women tropes in TV, in popular culture. Is it like woman in the fridge thing? Like the whole giving the main character a motivation to basically do for the rest of the game or the story or whatever. It just feels really dumb and no explanation whatsoever as to why the hell a really awesome heir of the Umbran clan is like getting bitch slapped by some goddamn demon. So you'll see here, I'm actually trying to talk, which means I'm just gonna mash P. It's just easier that way. But yeah, these flying fights are really... They're really dumb because they limit your options, they remove abilities, and it's just all because it's all for the sake of spectacle. Like I don't believe I'm wrong when I say that this game was casualized. And the music here is great. Even though I can't really hear it, I know this music is awesome. I guess, I mean, it was obviously a very deliberate choice to casualize this game, but I really do feel like Bayonetta was largely okay. I mean, there was a couple of... There's always some certain points that people pick on Bayonetta 1 for, and rightly so. The main one, the obvious ones being the really weird tonal shifts in gameplay mechanics, and so obviously Route 66 and Isla del Sol. And also the instant death QTEs. Yes, they are terrible. I don't think you're going to find anyone who defends them. And Bayonetta 2 does a lot of good things in that sense, where it fixes those issues. I just really wish they hadn't dumbed down the combat, because the combat was perfect. Dare I say, perfect in the first game. I do not understand why they made these changes. And there are a lot of changes that I noticed going between this game and the first game. Yes, I like to marinate my witches in gin.
What I already know, Rodon. Especially if you're going to be flip about it.
You know better than that. You're not the kind to let that sort of summon go out of control, Bayonetta. Something's up. The balance of powers that keep things in check don't feel right, does it?
You know, she's pretty hot for a dead chick. Wasn't a big fan of her shit when she was in the realm of the living. But looking at her now...
Also, this is really strange to me, because as far as I saw, the only interaction that Enzo and Jean had was when she tried to run him over with her motorbike. So any sort of perceived, what seems to be like sort of a mutual dislike of each other is all not in the game, and it's really confusing as to why they dislike each other.
What about the gates?
And one can assume then that because Jean doesn't like him, Bayonetta's just like supporting her friend slash lover, whatever you want to call that relationship.
About putting her on ice for a while. You need this. The heart of an Umbra witch. The magic that keep your kind alive in this world for eternities. Should keep her body in this realm stable. She'll need to reunite this with her soul, if you're gonna try and bring
I suppose if I'm gonna watch the cutscenes, this is gonna be at least 3 streams before I finish the game. Enzo, you've got a plane, right?
Enzo, you've got a jet, right?
Oh, jet. Close enough.
No. I do not know. Listen, I appreciate the situation, but you know what today is? My kids got cookies baked for me at home. They're waiting for me. And I still gotta play Santa tonight.
Let the real Santa take care of
This just seems really cruel. Enzo's just trying to be a good dad, and Bayonetta is all just like, no, you're gonna help me because I tell you to. Not because we're good friends or anything, I think we clearly proved that. I'm just basically forcing you at gunpoint.
Let go! Let go of me! Why do I always get wrapped up in this shit?
This entire game is gaudy. Let's not like beat around the bush here. It's very colourful. Like, I don't really sure how I feel about the clock scenes, to be quite honest. I'm neither here nor there about them, and I didn't really feel that strongly either about the film strips in the first game. So, there's that. I remember reading the dev blogs for this game, which, by the way, there were not nearly as many as there were for the first game, which was a freaking crime. For some reason, they felt the need to really break down this summary screen, which is why you have two of them. Like, I didn't really feel like the first game needed any further explanation as to what you were doing. It just felt really arbitrary to me. Like, it, again, dumbing it down to the nth degree so that the most base player, not that I'm talking shit about people who are not, okay, casual gamers. Okay, I did start writing this blog post about my issues with Bayonetta, and I had to sort of define the difference between a casual gamer and, well, basically define that when I say casual gamer, I don't mean it in a disparaging way, because more often than not when people say casual gamer, they do mean it in a very disparaging way. They define casuals as ones who play, I guess, like, you know, mobile games and Bejeweled, whatever, Peggle. I don't know what counts as casual games anymore, but when I was trying to write out this blog post, I had to try and define the difference, what I'm trying to say when I talk about a casual gamer, because there is a massive difference between what casual gamers enjoy in this game and what, I suppose, players like myself, and I hesitate to call myself like an experienced or expert player, but there is a massive difference, and it's really hard to write that kind of post because it just feels really essay-like, and I don't think people want to read an essay about why I hate this game.